Stiegelman, and here's the stories we'll talk about today on ETA News. Netanyahu, Iran misleading world leaders. Abbas, Arab League refused to call Israel a Jewish state. And top senator accuses CIA of spying on Congress. 40 Iranian-furnished M302 surface-to-surface rockets, 180 mortar shells, and 400,000 rifles were seized last week when a ship loaded with cargo headed to militants in Gaza was apprehended by the Israeli Navy. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu once again cautioned the West not to be misled by Iran's nuclear program diplomacy. In response to the world community's acknowledgement of the situation, Netanyahu stated, "The world wants to delude themselves that Iran has changed its intention to obtain nuclear weapons. All I heard was a handful of soft condemnations of Israel from the international community in response to this murderous cargo." Iran and Hamas have both denied Israeli findings, calling them untruths. 6 world powers and Iran reached a tentative agreement on November 24, 2013, in which Tehran, over the next 6 months, agreed to pull back on some of its most sensitive nuclear projects. Attempts at a long-term agreement are being negotiated. Netanyahu also cautioned, before it's too late, the world must awake from the illusion it is currently in and prevent Iran from achieving the capability to develop nuclear weapons. In other Middle East news, U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry's framework agreement took a major hit this past weekend as the Arab League agreed with Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas's renunciation of Israel's demand to be recognized as a Jewish state. As the April 29th deadline approaches, the U.S. is attempting to get Abbas to compromise on the issue so that the agreement can be reached. Arab Foreign Minister said in an official statement, "The Council of the Arab League confirms its support for the Palestinian leadership in its effort to end the Israeli occupation over Palestinian lands and emphasizes its rejection of recognizing Israel as a Jewish state." The U.S.-led framework agreement has hit many complications in addition to this issue. Both sides have yet to agree on borders, refugees, and the status of Jerusalem. Palestinians are concerned that calling Israel a Jewish state would generate much discrimination against the large Arab minority living in Israel. On the other hand, Israel feels such recognition would cause the world to observe Jewish history and her rights to the land. Netanyahu is the first Israeli prime minister to make the recognition of Israel as a Jewish state a demand for peace. In U.S. news, Senator Dianne Feinstein is very critical of the CIA's treatment of the Senate Intelligence Committee's investigation into an interrogation and detention program, which began after the September 11, 2001 terror attacks. She openly accused them of spying and most likely breaking the law. Feinstein has accused the CIA of searching the computers of staff members to see how they secured an internal agency review that contained a more critical review of the interrogation program than the CIA's official report. She said, "I have grave concerns that the CIA search may well have violated the separation of powers principles embodied in the Constitution." She also stated that the CIA may have broken the Fourth Amendment, the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, and an executive order which prevents them from ordering domestic searches or surveillance. CIA Director John Brennan has denied the computer hacking accusation, saying, "Nothing could be further from the truth. We wouldn't do that." I'm Jim Stiegelman with ETA News.